Good afternoon, everybody, and we'll begin. Hi. Hi, MT. Hey, guys. This is a meeting of the Civic Development, Public Assets, and Native Communities Committee. The date is March 20th. It's 2 p.m. I'm Councilmember Juarez, Chair of the committee, and I'm joined by Councilmember Bagshaw. Thank you for being here today. Councilmember Gonzalez is excused for today. Before we begin, I want to briefly go over the agenda today and the chair's report. First on the agenda is the reappointment of Colleen Echohawk-Hayashi for a member of the Seattle Indian Service Commission, and she'll be joined by Senator Claudia Kaufman, and I'm glad they're all here. After this, we're going to hear from our chief librarian and his team on the Library Levy annual report from 2018. In 2012, Seattle voters improved access to critical educational and literacy resources for every resident by passing a 7-year, $120 million library levy. The report will include the status of capital projects, performance measures, and much, much more. I understand you have a PowerPoint for us today, and also included in our information packet and for the public is a copy of the 2018 annual levy report. Next, we'll invite Parks to discuss 3 ordinances up for potential vote. Items 4 and 5 will be presented together. Items 4 and 5 are regarding Laurelhurst and the Washington Park Arboretum regarding waterway permits. And then we have another ordinance regarding Department of Parks and Rec, transfer of jurisdiction to SPU regarding a parcel of land. And finally, we're going to spend some time on the Soundview Playfield Improvement Project. That is our last item on the agenda. The land use code, Seattle Municipal Code, Title 23, requires us to hold a public hearing. So after I've invited up central staff and our presenters to walk us through the legislation, I will then open it up for public hearing for this ordinance. This is not to be confused with our general public comment period that will be held at the beginning of the agenda. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be having 2 public comments, one to the items on the agenda, and the second public comment period will be open regarding Soundview Playfield Improvement Project. So with that, we'll move to public comment. And how many people we have signed up, Nagin? Okay, so let's call out our 2 folks and move forward.
David Haynes.
Hi. Seattle needs a better leadership at the Board of Trustees, and the chief librarian should be replaced, specifically for never opening the taxpayer-financed public libraries for 21st century times. Tens of millions of dollars have been squandered never opening neighborhood libraries on Fridays, after getting $60 million extra to open the libraries years ago. When confronted, Marcellus Turner said he thought community only wanted Sundays open, not Friday. Yet he only opened libraries on Sunday for 4 measly hours. Yet librarians are getting paid double time doing half the amount of offering. There's a lot of noise when they first open it up because it's all a rush. Yet he promotes a lot of racism at times and some perversion when his offerings at the Central Library. In fact, 2 managers, David Valencio and Marcellus Turner, protect porno viewers who ruin the computers. If you complain about porno viewers, they will kick you out for bothering others about it. Even if you ask for security. When you ask Marcellus for an appeal, he just reiterates the rules of David Valencio. They should be replaced, and we need an investigation of why the chief librarian can close the Central Library whenever he feels like having a meeting with staff, and why he never opened the libraries before 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and why it's so why is it so noisy in these modern libraries with a warehouse concrete echo and librarians beeping in books without dialing down the volume that were never checked out, but taking credit because somebody may have moved it from the shelf? It's too noisy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Who's next?
Alex Zimmerman.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Start the clock.
Yeah. Hi, my sweet sugar council. My name is Alex Zimmerman. I want to speak about agenda number 2. I think this is about library. Because I live in same district what is you, Council Wares, District 5, a little bit confused about your decision about forgiveness stealing book. I use library for all my life, and I know about books, and I know sometimes about prices, how unique this book. So your opinion about support stealing book very surprised me. I think you're acting like a pure criminal. Support criminal, you are a criminal. It's very simple. People who steal in book, we are talking about poor minority who will steal book for 5 cents or for 50 cents. You're talking about professional. So we'll go inside the library, you steal book what is very unique, very complicated, and find this book second time, sometimes not possible. I order many book for last 30 years. In many book, library cannot deliver it to me. This is because it's very unique book. So you, Consul Varis, support a criminal, is very surprised me. This is exactly what has happened. But I think this is your normal condition. You support your friend Gonzalez, who 5 times crime. Court recognized her. She violated constitutional right and Open Public Meeting Act 5 times. You support her every meeting. Every time what is I come, how Consul Gonzalez can sit in this chamber after violate 5 times constitutional law in court approves this, and you all attorney, Consul Bakshar attorney, Gonzalez attorney. You surprise me, guys. You look to me like a pure bandita, like a criminal, like a Nazi, Gestapo principal. That's exactly who you are. So right now I speak to everybody in Seattle. Stand up, my friends.
All right, we're done. Shut the mic. Thank you, always a joy. All right, what's next? That's it? Wonderful. So why don't you come up here, Nagin, and let's start going through our items of business. Yeah. So I'll have you read item 1 into the record, and then we'd like to invite our presenters up at the table so they can introduce themselves.
Appointment 01239, appointment of Colleen Echohawk-Hayashi as member, Seattle Indian Services Commission for a term to December 31st, 2020.
Great.
I know.
So I'm going to let you do the introductions, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start conversation. Go ahead, Kenny.
Kenny Pittman, Officer of Intergovernmental Relations. And
Colleen Echohawk.
thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I'd like to present for your approval Colleen Echohawk for the member to the Seattle Indians Services Commission. She would be representative by the Governing Council. The commission is governed by 5 members, 1 appointed by the mayor, 4 appointed by the members of the board, all confirmed by the City Council. This will be her first term. She is the Executive Director of Chief Seattle Club and has an extensive involvement within the community of Seattle. And we believe that she would be an excellent representative, and we highly recommend her appointment.
Not to mention she comes from D5.
That's right.
Senator Kaufman?
Thank you, Madam Chair, for considering this appointment. We are super excited to have Colleen Echohawk join our commission. She brings to her a wealth of experience and understanding and knowledge within the community, as well as our vision. She shares our shared vision for the future of how the Seattle Indian Services Commission is going to serve our Native communities. So we're real excited to have her join us.
First of all, thank you, Senator Kaufman, for being here. It's always a pleasure to see you, and you've provided leadership for many of us for decades. Well, you and I go back a long way, but it's wonderful to see you at the table sitting next to our sister, Colleen Echohawk, and everything that you've done for Indian country, including your family. So it's an honor to have you here, Senator.
Thank you.
Well, I am very glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Good to see you again. I just want to say this, echo your comments about Senator Kaufman. You know, I'm a busy person, but when she asked me to be involved with something, I want to be involved because I believe in the leadership and also believe in the importance of this work that we're doing at the commission. So I'm really glad to be here. I'm looking forward to bringing some of what we're learning with our project in Pioneer Square around building housing to this work, and just working alongside some really wonderful people that are already on the commission. So I think it's going to be good. Exciting.
Colleen, I'm thrilled that you want to do this, and thank you, Senator, for putting forward her name. It's always a pleasure working with you, and I'm delighted about your housing project that's going up. We're working on around and with you to see if we can move that forward, both for the construction and then also what your community gathering space, the vision you have for that, and how that ties in with your community health is fabulous. So I'm all over this appointment. Thank you very much. And if there's anything we can do for you, or the two of you want to come and talk about what that particular board needs, I'd like to hear that. Kenny, thank you very much for running this.
Well, thank you so much, Councilmember Bagshaw, for bringing that forward, because I was just whispering to Claudia in the back about what a wonderful support you've been to me, the Chief Seattle Club, and the Native community, specifically around the work that we want to do in Fortson Square to really develop that place to be a wonderful spot for all community members, and especially think about the possibilities to have Indigenous design embedded in that park. You and I have been having lots of conversations about that, and you're just an incredible ally, so thank you so much for your work.
Thank you.
So with that, I was going to say council member.
Councilmember Echohawk. Sounds pretty good,
Yeah. So let me just say this. First of all, your appointment packet doesn't do you justice. You and your sister Abigail and your sister Lael and the whole Echohawk family are all born with law degrees or something, and you've been involved in Indian country. Law degrees, master's degrees, everything. You guys have been, your whole family, like the Kaufman family, all women, I want to add, have been so good in our community in dedicating not only your personal life, but your professional life for the betterment of Native communities, whether we live in the city or on the reservation or wherever. Both of you have advocated not only at the city level, the state level, the regional level, but you've been in Washington, D.C., working hard for missing murdered Indigenous women, for the Savannahs Act. Claudia Kaufman, you've been great, Senator Kaufman, in all the issues that you tackled when you were in Olympia. We worked closely with you. It's wonderful to see Colleen here following kind of in your footsteps about picking up, the torch. And as you know, we lead to leave in Indian country. We try to have people behind us that we mentor, that we want to see them continue the work. And I also just want to say that, Colleen has been phenomenal, not only with her work at Chief Seattle Club and sheltering the unsheltered and providing social services, but also your work on the Community Police Commission, your work on the waterfront with us on every aspect. You have been a place that I can go to just kind of talk about what are the issues, how should we be addressing these, and I always appreciate your wisdom. I don't always listen to everything you tell me to do, but I listen enough to know when I want to get something done, and then I get my buddy to my right here on board. And I also want to thank your family, because I know your husband and your children also sacrifice a lot of time with you because you're out doing everything and at every meeting. I know Matt is involved in the community as well. And I know you have a brother that's involved, though no one knows who your brother, Howie. I hope Howie's watching this, because everyone thinks there's just 5 girls and there's no brother. So it's my pleasure to have you here today. And before we wrap up and go to a vote, is there anything else you want to add? Anyone else?
No, thank you for the very kind words.
Great.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we'll move for a vote then. Okay, so did we read that into the record, or did you do it? You already did it? Yes. Okay, so I move the committee pass the appointment of Ms. Colleen Echohawk-Hayashi. Am I saying that correctly? Well, okay, whatever. Appointment, what was your 1, 2, 6, so second? Okay, so the motion's been moved and seconded. Let's move for a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Congratulations. The motion passes. We'll recommend full council pass appointment for Ms. Colleen Echohawk-Hayashi. And thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Senator.
And Ms. Great.
All right, let's move on with the rest of our items of business. I'll let Nagin read what's in our next item, the annual library levy report. Go ahead, Nagin.
Item number 2 is the annual report for year 2018 on the library levy.
So we have all of you here, which is great, and I'll let you guys introduce yourself, and then I will let you walk us through your PowerPoint, and we'll see if we have questions, and thank you for the time to give us this annual report.
And thank you so very much for this opportunity. I'm MT, I'm your chief librarian, and joining me are a couple of people who will introduce themselves.
Jay Rich, President of the Library Board.
I'm Jan Oshowitz, Library Levy Administrator.
Chris Ruffini, the Director of Administrative Services for the library.
Great. So want me to get started?
I do.
Okay.
And I also want to acknowledge that there were some rather unkind and uninformed comments that were just made. If you feel free that you want to talk about how you don't just willy-nilly set library hours, feel free. Otherwise, dive into your presentation.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I'll let the library's work speak for itself. Thank you. So we're happy to be here to talk about the 2018 Levy Report. And this shows all of the work that we've done over the last last year. And as introduced, I will give a few minutes to Jay Rich, who's the president of the Library Board of Trustees, to speak first.
Thank you, MT, and thank you, Councilmember Juarez and Councilmember Bagshaw, for this opportunity. First, let me begin by thanking you both and the whole council and the mayor for your support of the libraries over a lot of time. And it's really an honor and today quite a pleasure to talk about what we've done in the last year with the levy proceeds from the 2012 levy. As you know, the Library Board is a 5-member citizens board established by the city charter with fiduciary oversight over the operation and management of the library. And we take that role very seriously and also appreciate the accountability that it requires and the transparency that it calls for. The board's committed to ensuring that the levy proceeds are used as they were intended and with full transparency and, again, accountability as that is done. I'm really proud of the amazing work the library has done and how they've used the levy proceeds consistent with and in furtherance of the will of the people. As you may remember, the 2012 levy was passed with a 64% approval rate, and that was based in no small part because we received comments from 39,000 people at the time to help put together the levy package, and it included 4 primary components: more materials, more hours, more technology, and maintenance of the 27 branch library facilities. And we're going to hear today how we've used those leverage in furtherance of those 4 goals. And as part of our ongoing outreach to the community, in 2018, we went back out again and did a scientific survey of both library users as well as non-users, 26,000 in total, to get a sense of how they thought the library was doing and whether our priorities and their priorities were stacked up. And I'm happy to report that there was overwhelming and continues to be overwhelming support for the library, as well as those 4 components, which really form the basis of what the library does and what the levy does. The levy, as you may know, represents about 24% of our operating budget. It is a very significant item to us, but it also is enough money to really shape programs and what we offered, though I can't but help remark that the rest of the operating budget, the 75%, comes from the general fund, and so we really appreciate that support as well. As in the same way as we reported out the 1998 bond issue where we built out the libraries, so we have been committed to report out the results of the levy proceeds. So the board receives detailed reports on a quarterly basis of where the expenditures are and how they lined up with the priorities. And then on an annual basis, of course, we report to you, and that's why we're here today. And to contextualize what we do, we put out and put on our website, as is all of this material, an operating report and an operating plan for the library that shows how the 24% relates to all of the funding sources that we have. So there's a rich body of material available to the public and to you to, frankly, let you know what we're doing and also hold us accountable. So I just sort of have to say in conclusion, our levy investments have enabled hundreds and thousands of individuals of all ages and backgrounds and economic backgrounds to improve themselves and take advantage of the library. But in addition, it's built community between and among members of our city by connecting people through programs, through events, and with shared spaces. So again, thank you for the opportunity to give the report. I'm going to hand it over to MT to actually go through the details.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you to the board for their support of the work that we're doing at the library. I'm really happy to be here and share with you the highlights of our 6th year of the 7-year levy. We've been doing lots of great things, and you'll notice that I'm only scratching the surface as I move through that. I'd also like to thank you, Councilmember Juarez, for your leadership as committee chair of the libraries. I enjoy these visits with you.
You just enjoy me explaining to you the difference between a rat and a squirrel.
That is always true. That is always true.
Tell you later what happened.
So I'll move into the report. I'd like to give you a brief overview of what led voters to approve the levy. The people of Seattle love their libraries, as evidenced by the Libraries for All building program in 1998, which demonstrated widespread voter support for access to learning and equity and opportunity. Unfortunately, the prolonged recession put that access and equity at risk. From 2008 to 2012, as the economy worsened, library patrons grew frustrated. Most of our 27 libraries were closed 2 days a week. Our book budget was being cut. Our technology infrastructure was aging. And the entire library system closed every year for 1 week due to budget cuts, just as people were in greater need of library resources. Those economic realities set the stage. In 2010, we conducted a citywide survey about library services, and we collected nearly 39,000 comments from members of the public to inform our plan. The plan reflected the public's priorities for essential library services. The council approved the library for the 2012 August primary ballot, and voters overwhelmingly supported it. In the past 6 years, we've been good stewards of library funds, keeping our promises to voters to fund core services and support emerging city priorities. We conducted another public survey in 2018, which Jay just referenced, which we made available online and in branches in 8 different languages. And this time we got feedback from more than 26,000 Seattle residents of users and non-users alike who represent the city's demographic mix. The survey indicated strong public support for the library and confirmed that Seattle residents still want the library to invest in the core areas funded by the existing levy, which includes open hours, investments in collections and technology, and keeping the facilities clean and maintained. The 7-year, $123 million levy supplements general fund dollars for open hours, book materials, technology, and building maintenance. From year 1, the levy has supported nearly $5 million of ongoing library services that would have had to be cut in 2013 as part of the city's response to the economic downturn. And as Jay referenced, there's 25% that now accounts for the levy's budget, and I want to talk about that now. As I move through the presentation, I will provide details about how we have met each levy promise in 2018, and I will also describe how library work is changing and how our work ties into the city's priorities. In particular, we help close the opportunity gap and provide pathways for people to be successful in life through our services to children, students, and adults, and especially vulnerable groups such as new immigrants and people who are insecurely housed and those who cannot afford access to the internet at home. The library, as you might imagine, is on the front line of Seattle's homelessness crisis as one of the last remaining places that are free, open, and welcoming to all people. And I'll give a nod to Christopher, who would say the same for parks behind me. And yes, from internet access to looking for housing, jobs, and medical care to a safe place to read a book, use the restroom, or participate in a program, the library is there for people in every neighborhood. We built the levy to respond to the needs of library users. Those needs are changing, often in ways and at speeds we could not have anticipated, and believe it or not, we are changing to respond to what the patrons want from us. People told us they wanted the library to have a larger presence in the community, and we now have a community engagement team, and have refocused our staff throughout the system to find ways to provide programs, services, and resources where people need them. For the library's staff and administration, community engagement is the key to the way we do business. We take every opportunity we can to learn more about what the public thinks of our services, how our services impact their lives, and what we can do to improve opportunity for every Seattle resident. Librarians from every branch in the system routinely spend time with community groups at day shelters, farmers markets, schools, and beyond, bringing library services to where they are, learning about their needs, and bringing their feedback back to help us make smarter decisions. People also want to access more material online. In 2012, digital materials accounted for 10% of our total circulation, and now it's more than 32%. We expect this trend to continue as new formats are introduced and technology improves. In addition, free access to library Wi-Fi has become more important as patrons use their own devices, and the library provides laptops and tablets for people to use inside our locations. The library has extended our Wi-Fi access through our popular hotspot lending program, and in 2018, we secured a favorable contract for data service with T-Mobile, which allowed us to offer more devices and provide hotspots to city-sanctioned homeless encampments. Thank you for your support in helping us expand this program.
Marcellus, can I stop you for one
Sure.
just quickly? On the increased reliance on free Wi-Fi, does that include when we expanded to, what is Andrew Lofton is the head of?
Seattle Housing Authority.
So that
includes that program as well.
talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
just quickly?
So with that program, we partnered with Seattle Housing Authority to provide hotspots to some of their residents who did not have internet access at home. And in their so doing, we're providing the kids who are in schools with opportunities to have Wi-Fi hotspots for a longer period of time than we offer the general patron who comes in and checks it out as they would a book, which is for 3 weeks. We have them for loan periods of 4 months to get a kid through the school year. So that is the way we've been partnering with them, and that's been a very successful program for us.
Thank you. That was a big lift, and you guys delivered, so thank you.
We did. We were glad to step up to it, and SHA has been a great partner with us in that effort. And thank you for acknowledging that. Can't cover everything in here, so you're
Okay.
recognizing
That's what I'm here for, buddy.
that I appreciate that.
I got you.
Oh, thank you much. As you know, more and more Seattle residents are insecurely housed and are struggling with addiction, and the library is working hard to serve these patrons who have a higher level of need as a result of these issues. Every day, we connect folks to supportive services with the help of community partners both inside and outside of our buildings, and that includes our community resource specialist. But the impact of these increased needs on library facilities is certainly felt. In addition to an increase in supportive service partnerships, we have also needed to grow our security and custodial services to ensure our libraries continue to be safe and welcoming places for all who need us.
I just want to acknowledge how important that is. And last year, the Parks Foundation, the Library Foundation had put up money for your first
community
person
resource
who was there. And it made such a huge difference. And I talked to people in the library and said, this is where they get their help.
Yes.
That we have a lot of nonprofits, a lot of service providers, but they felt comfortable there. So well done and thank you.
Thank you. Having that position on staff has really been successful to the patrons who are in need of it, but also to our library staff who are not necessarily as familiar with all of the services that are offered, and we can connect them in that way, and it goes well to serve everyone.
Great.
So, yeah. So I'd like to spend a little bit of time on our statistics. Our number of active patrons continues to increase, up 14% since 2012. Similarly, our new library card holders is up significantly over our pre-levy level. We offer more library programs than ever before, and we are seeing an even greater number of patrons participating in them. Thanks to levy funds for additional open hours and staffing, we are able to offer more educational classes, workshops, and other programming inside our buildings and out in the community. We've increased the number of programs that we offer by 43% during the levy period. Patrons are increasingly relying on digital materials. We are proud to have one of the largest and most circulated digital collections among public libraries in the nation. I think we're number 3. You may have noted, and just switching it a bit, you may have noticed at the bottom of the table we have some down arrows. Those declines reflect changes in how patrons use the library. Visits are down because patrons can now access so many of our services 24/7. And in 2014, one of our very popular branches in D5, Lake City, was closed for 6 months, so the population downturn during that period was felt. We also recognize that fewer people are using our desktop computers because more of them are coming in to use their own devices and access the internet through our free Wi-Fi. And while the number of computer sessions is a standard library measure, it doesn't really tell the story of how we provide important digital access. And this is especially true in historically underserved or underrepresented communities where reliance on digital access through the library is much higher. Levy funds have enabled the library to respond to changing patron needs. And now I will move into each of the four components, and I'll do so rather quickly. The first promise that we made was to keep our libraries open when patrons needed them. While we've been talking about some of how our patrons are accessing our services outside of our regular business hours, for many members of our community, increasing library hours is key to providing access to learning and equity. For kids going to homework help after school, immigrants and refugees who take ESL or citizenship classes, or those who need access to our desktop computers, laptops, or iPad, having access to our facilities is more important than ever. As we were developing the 2012 levy, our patrons told us they wanted libraries open more hours, and in particular, we heard from working parents and families that they needed libraries on weekends. By expanding our hours, we reduce barriers that prevent people from getting the resources they need to succeed. With levy resources, we've been able to open all of our libraries on Sunday and have added Friday hours to 6 locations. And we are open 52 weeks a year. And so we are quite proud of that work. Access means different opportunities for our patrons at different points in their lives. For parents with young children, it is to play and learn, baby and toddler story time. For elementary school children, it's homework help and summer of learning. And for teens and young adults, it's service learning and adult tutoring. Our programs help close the opportunity gap and prepare Seattle children for success in school and beyond. For job seekers, retirees, and other city residents, the library offers a free, safe space. We heard over and over again through our survey comments about the importance of the library as a place in the community. The second promise that we made was with collections, to provide a robust collection of books and materials. The community's widespread interest in books isn't surprising, given Seattle Reads started here and often tops the rankings as the nation's most literate city. In 2017, Seattle was also designated as a UNESCO City of Literature. Last year, with the help of $3.3 million of levy support, we added 63,000 new titles with a special emphasis on maintaining a diverse and inclusive collection. For the past 3 years, we focused on adding titles that provide greater access to underrepresented voices, including those from people of color, sexual minorities, and other marginalized groups. And we've made significant progress in getting patrons the materials they want faster through floating collections.
And if I can just add,
Sure.
Peak Picks. Peak
Peak
Picks
Picks?
is my favorite. I
Peak
love
Picks?
walking in there and seeing what the librarians have recommended.
It is an amazing program, and there is not one single place that I go that someone doesn't mention Peak Picks. And the gentleman behind me, Andrew, is the one who runs that program for us. So all of that praise and recognition goes to him and his team.
Well, who
But it
actually
is
picks
amazing.
them? Do all the librarians get together?
Well, the selection of materials is done through our collections department. We have a team of about 5 staff who work on that. They get recommendations from other staff, but they also see how the circulation of the books on hold are trending.
Okay.
So if there are a lot of holds on books, we order more. So that's how they do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. That, like I said, it's one of the biggest programs that people love, and so there's not a place I can go that no one says something about Peak Picks. So I previously described our patrons' increasing interest in our ebooks and audiobooks, and we continue to add new electronic materials. In late 2016, we added digital comics through a service called Hoopla. And in November 2017, we began offering streaming movies through another vendor called Canopy. The new services we introduced have been very popular with our patrons, and in 2018, nearly 33,000 patrons downloaded digital comics, music, or movies from Hoopla, and more than 6,500 patrons have streamed movies through Canopy. So we're even bringing services in a different way with electronic formats. Many patrons still prefer the physical book, as evidenced by the popularity of the Peak Picks program, which we launched in November 2017.
I think there's a generational split here, too.
I need paper in my hands. I can't look at a screen.
You know, I think we're a lot who straddle that river and have one foot in the print and one in the digital, but it's good to see a print book when you walk in a library. It's really good. Since launch, we've offered nearly 32,000 copies of 192 titles in this collection and have circulated these books more than 250,000 times. That just shows you how popular Peak Picks is. In 2018, Peak Pick books were checked out a total of 200,000 times. Over 40,000 unique patrons checked out at least one Peak Picks book in 2018. And believe it or not, even though we have that great number going on, circulation of children's print materials remains steady, which supports families' early learning efforts across our community. Levy Promise 3, improve computer and online services. The library is adapting our service delivery to the way people use technology today, and we're working to ensure our patrons have access to the digital tools they need. Whether our patrons need to register their children for school on the Seattle Public Schools website, apply for Medicaid, long-term care, food assistance, or child care online, or check out or stream our expanding e-collection of materials, they can come to the library to use our desktop and laptop computers, access our free Wi-Fi, or get tech help from our staff. We've expanded the number and types of devices available for our patrons to use to help bridge the digital divide. And for students and job seekers, access to desktop and laptop computers for homework and job applications is essential. Through our surveys, we have heard from many patrons that they appreciate the ability to check out the Wi-Fi hotspot and use the internet. And it's especially important for those who do not have internet access at home. Last year, we launched our new redesigned website, which serves as an entry point to all of our online resources, including our catalog of books and materials, our research databases, online courses from lynda.com, and Microsoft Imagine Academy, our calendar of events and classes, and much more. The last time we overhauled our website was in 2003, so you can imagine much had changed. For our new design, we sought public input at every stage of the project. We did multiple rounds of research and usability testing to understand how people use the site, and we engaged an accessibility expert to test the site to make sure the site worked for everyone. And since this launch, we have gotten recognition anytime we go out about how well that program runs, how great our website is, and the process that we used. Finally, Levy Promise 4, maintain buildings for the next generation. With levy funds, we are able to clean carpets and upholstery, wash windows, and pressure wash sidewalks on a regular basis. We're also able to fix roofs and make safety improvements to our branches as needed. And yet, even with higher levels of funding from the levy, we've had to redirect both capital and operating funds to keep our facilities clean, safe, and functional. And even still, we are not able to keep pace with the heavy use of some of our facilities. We have 27 libraries throughout the city, and they are treasured community resources. As I said at the beginning of the presentation, our libraries are one of the last remaining places in the city that are open, free, and welcoming to all people. This also places our libraries on the front line of some of the city's social issues, such as homelessness and the opioid crisis. As the number of people who are insecurely housed grows, we see more people spending their entire day in the library. We have patrons with few other options and use our facilities for hygiene purposes. We also face increases in alcohol and drug use and inappropriate behavior. In 2017, we added custodial and security staff with levy funds, and we have recently installed sharps containers to collect used needles in the restrooms at all library locations. And we're adding 2 additional security officers with one-time funding from the general fund in 2019. In 2018, the levy accounted for 23% of the library's total spending and 25% of the library's total budget. As Jay mentioned in his opening remarks, the board takes its fiduciary responsibility for the levy and all library funds very seriously. This pie chart summarizes our levy spending by levy promise. Our largest slices of the pie in 2018 went to maintaining our facilities for the next generation and preserving core services to the operating fund. This covers the ongoing library services that would have had to have been cut in 2013 as part of the city's response to the economic downturn. In 2017, I invited the public to join me in a series of community conversations to discuss current and future library services. These conversations focused on technology and access, as well as our library's new strategic direction, which is our blueprint for future decision-making. I continued these conversations in 2018 to discuss the future of libraries and share the results of our library programs and services assessment survey, which we conducted in spring 2018. As described earlier, we received over 26,000 responses, including over 11,000 open-ended text comments about library services. Our public engagement through the survey and our community conversations has provided information about the types of service changes, enhancements, and expansions desired by Seattle residents and helped move us toward the library of the future. Patrons told us they wanted more open hours, more collections, and continued support for those who need our services most. This input has helped the Mayor's levy renewal package that we will be presenting to you at the Select Committee on the library levy next week. And with that, I'd like to close with a brief video about the importance of our computers and online resources for our community, and then open it up to questions.
Great. I didn't know we were getting a video here. Mm-hmm. Can we just click on it right there? You know, Councilmember Bagshaw wanted to be in this video. I don't know why you didn't ask her. Sure.
Yeah, it's not letting me, so I have it here, but Seattle channel for whatever reason. Just give me 1 second.
You want us to call Eric? Why don't we, while we're doing this, why don't we continue with questions and then...
That would be great.
We'll get some help.
Of course.
Go ahead, Councilmember.
Well, this is so important, and you've pointed out, and others have too, including the Seattle Times a couple of days ago, just how critical libraries are. And I'm wondering, Jay, if I could just ask you this question, which is, you talk about oversight and accountability, and I have all the faith in the world in you, and with your board. Can you talk about how the money that you are watching, do you have that? Tell me about the sense of how you are making sure that the money is spent wisely. And then the second point to this is, we have, our population around here has increased in a really quite astonishing way. And when I hear people say, well, you have to do more with less, love that argument, but when people are asking for more, demanding more, and you are providing more, it takes more resources. So if you could just talk about your role as the board chair, that'd be great.
Sure. Well, the library board meets at least monthly, and we get monthly reports on all of our expenditures. And Chris is here and provides that. And in the context of that, we're watching various trends of usage. For example, one of the things that's hidden within that data set that's so important is that as the e-materials, the electronic materials, have grown in use from 10% to 30%, and some of the peak books or the hard copy things have gone down, the thing we have to understand is that the e-books are 3 to 5 times more expensive to us. So while we're trying to respond to that, we're also looking at the trend lines. Or another implication, for example, that's been brought to our attention is the use of e-books means that people who overstay the borrowing don't pay fees. And the reason is that the e-book disappears and expires. So we're left in this dilemma of having a line item of fee receipts going down because we're using more e-books. So we are watching all of these trends and all of these issues on a monthly basis and asking fundamental questions about whether this is a short-term or a long-term, a one-month problem or a trend. How are we going to deal with it? And it was looking at all of those issues that help us decide what the ask could be for the next levy. So it's not only doing more with less, it's even doing the same at higher cost. Right. So even inflationary increases to even sustain what we're doing, which isn't enough, is going to cost more money.
So quick follow-up on that. Yeah. Yesterday, I spent some time in Olympia, and one of the people I saw was Senator Guy Palumbo. And I mentioned this to him, that the cost of e-books has gone up significantly, and he was, as I reacted to when you first told me, quite surprised at how much. It's not like a little bit, it's like you said 3 times, 5 times as much. Tell me about what efforts have been made to approach publishers or Amazon or whoever is responsible for this, and is there a library discount that is negotiable?
Sure. Want me? Sure. So that is an interest that all libraries share. It's not just the Seattle Public Library that is challenged by the cost of economic e-materials. And as you might imagine, we're looking at it as an industry as well. When ebooks came on the scene a few years ago, the Library Association, which is the governing association for all libraries in the country, as well as some of the regional libraries, came together to talk about opportunities to approach publishers to do that. As you might imagine, with a print material, when a book is greatly loved, they can remove it out of circulation, and that puts libraries in the position of having to buy a new copy, which is how their revenue continues. In the scenario of e-materials, that doesn't occur. The challenge, though, is that as much as we have these conversations with publishers, they are at this moment focused on how they increase their bottom line, because they are really struggling with that as well, because an electronic material does not expire, it does not die, and it is, as much as it's greatly loved, you don't see the wear and tear on it that you would with a print material. So there are continual conversations with him trying to do something, but what we found more useful, and Andrew participates in these conversations often, is working with publishers to focus on the licensing requirement that they give us. It's not necessarily that we can reduce the cost of the electronic material. That is something that they pretty much cling to, but the license is what determines how we get to use it. So in some instances, they may say you get to buy the book for 2 years and then you must buy it again. Andrew's job is to work with them and say, hey, what about giving us 3 years instead of 2 years for the cost of that item, or looking for other opportunities to do that. And so as a collective, Andrew will represent Seattle Public Library in those conversations, and other parts of the country send representatives there as well. So we try to have those conversations at that level to do it. That seems to be our best inroad to addressing that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So are we online?
I think so.
Great.
What I'm doing at the library today is I'm working on some music.
I come up here to charge my stuff because of my living situation.
Working on my Excel sheets, preparing my presentations.
Check my email and some of the documents that I'm expecting. If they've come through, then I will print them off.
I'm here to do some job searching.
We come here to do homework, so we come at least 3 to 4 times out of the week.
To entertain my grandkids. They're a wonderful facility here. I love our libraries.
We see the public library as the people's university. It's a place where you can come and get free instruction, a place where you can come and get free resources. So we want to be the place where you can also come and get technology skill set.
By focusing on equity during the website redesign project, we addressed language barriers, and we also tried to address that issue of people having inequitable access even to technology.
It's a matter of human basic right to have an access of websites for all people. I have done a lot of web accessibility testing and consulting services to the library. I am looking if the web page is accessible to people with vision impairments.
So the end result with the website is that we now have a website that is accessible to everybody, no matter what language you speak, no matter what device you're using.
A lot of people don't realize the scope of what we have in our online services. You can learn a language through our services. You can learn how to program a computer. We have lynda.com that has all sorts of instruction on computing, how to use programs. We added music, films, videos, TV shows that you can download or watch online.
At the library, we offer many free computer classes, and they vary from digital literacy classes up through digital creativity classes.
This is my phone. It's a smartphone, and it's smarter than I am. I didn't know how to use it, and they put on a class of how to use the new technology.
We specialize in information literacy, so not only showing folks how to find information, but how to evaluate that content. The Fake News Survival Guide is a 2-hour class that we have here at the Central Library. It's essentially just an overview of misinformation and disinformation and how you can evaluate and have best practices with engaging in online information.
One-on-one tech help is offered weekly in most locations, and so they're quite regular. And at Central Library, they're offered 3 times a week.
It's going to do a scan of your computer to make sure it doesn't have anything, and so
we just help them troubleshoot basic tech questions with their computer, phone. We can help with email, social media.
One of the things that I'm doing here is I'm taking tutoring at the library, and the tutoring is preparing me to go further in my goals, which will be technology and on to back to college again.
The library also offers free Microsoft certification exams, and currently we offer Microsoft Office Specialist and Microsoft Technology Associate exams that you can take for free at the library through a partnership with the Washington State Library. And you can sign up and hopefully get better jobs as a result of it.
We really believe in narrowing that digital divide for the citizens of the city. We like to provide job resources, access to social services from local, state, and federal departments.
I'm using the housing resources that they have. If I didn't have internet access, I'd be completely closed out from the world. I mean, I couldn't talk to my family and friends and stuff like that. It helps a lot to have that access and really not have to pay anything. It's free, right?
We've upgraded the network, including Wi-Fi. We replaced all of the available public computers in the system. We upgraded the size of the monitors. We've offered upgraded printers, copiers, and scanners at all the branches. We have meeting rooms that have been expanded upon with widescreen TVs.
We also have the Flex Tech equipment where people can check out iPads and laptops and use that throughout the library.
As far as creating music goes, it's super expensive. There's not a lot of places around here that have this, where you have your mic and your music program.
It's really huge for the patrons to have free access to the equipment. It's very encouraging for the youth in our area. A lot of patrons have been coming in to use it as an interview room. There's a camera that the patrons are able to check out. They have to check it out at the front desk. They'll bring it in and put it on top of the screen, and they're able to project themselves and be able to see the person that's interviewing them and vice versa.
A lot of people that come to the library are homeless and they have nowhere to go or nowhere to charge their stuff or fill out applications. It really helps them. So that way, if a job calls, they have their stuff charged.
A lot of us take for granted that we can just pick up our phones, we can go online, we can see what news is happening, we can call our family, we can email. It's important to remember that not everybody has that same access. The public library has Wi-Fi hotspots available for anyone to check out. These are small devices that connect to a Wi-Fi signal, and you can take them either to your home or outside the building, and it will keep you connected. Through our Wi-Fi hotspot outreach and the programs that we have at the library, we are able to build those people up, give them some support and stability so that they have these same opportunities that we take for granted.
Seattle Public Library is dynamic.
The Seattle Public Library is a safe haven for me.
It's a valuable asset that the people need. Seattle Public Library is my future.
As long as the library is around, I will be too.
Well, thank you. Our marketing and online services team really worked hard on that, and I was just noticing that I see one of the patrons who's in the video every day, and next time I need to thank him. I didn't realize he was recognizing. But it is a great video, but it really speaks to how we impact the community in different ways that our just sitting here talking about it would not show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although talking about it is excellent, you do a nice job. That is so well put together. Whoever produced it, say thank you, please. And these are useful to let people know. I had no idea about your fake news. Tuesday, 5:30 to 7:30. I'm so going. That's great.
Yes, we do have all of that.
I just want to add that Councilmember Bagshaw, particularly because she chaired this committee before me and me now in the last 3 or so years, I know a lot and I've learned a lot, but I just learned some more. And so I want to thank you guys. I know how hard you work, and I don't think sometimes the community or the city recognizes how many services you provide, and that libraries of the 21st century are not like they used to be. I mean, I get so tired of saying we're beyond just books, you know, the digital divide. And I really like what somebody said in there, which I think I'm going to use and steal, I'm telling you now, is that libraries are the people's university.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a great point.
because they go there for everything, whether you're looking for a job, whether you're learning a language, whether a book, whether you need to sign up for Medicaid, whether you need social services. I mean, I sometimes wish I could just have like a menu of like, besides checking out a book, these are all the things that we provide and we should provide as a democracy and a community. So I want to thank you guys for that. I know your board works so hard. And, well, you do. You guys, you know, you're a volunteer board. It's an honor. Yeah, and you raise money and you get out there and you haven't given up. And we have a lot of community groups like that. Like one comes to mind immediately, like Friends of the Waterfront. Civic-minded people that are committed to providing essential governmental services because they care about their city. So I want to thank you.
I think what you've demonstrated in this is your passion for equity. And we talk about the digital divide. I mean, cuts in many different layers, but you're making it available for people. And then having the help to, whether it was the gentleman that was working on an Excel spreadsheet, or I loved the music video, who knew that you could do that? But this is what I think we can emphasize.
I think so too. Thank you.
Great. And we'll see you next Thursday?
You will see us next Thursday.
All right.
And I'm going to leave just some brochures for you and your colleagues with the 2018 report.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh,
Yes.
that's helpful. Thank you. When does the Seattle Reads book get chosen?
The 2019 book has been chosen, and we will be coming to you next week or sometime as well to present that. I think we've scheduled it. I just don't recall. Maybe it's April 1st that we come to bring it to you. But it has been chosen. The title is something I should not have said.
Yeah, you do this.
Do you know, Tom, do you know the title?
You can surprise us.
It's also very different. It's a graphic novel, and Vietnamese author, and it's somewhat autobiographical, and she will be here, I think, for a week.
She will be here for a week. The title is The Best That We Could Do, and it is by T. Bowie, and I, believe it or not, I read it 2 weeks ago. It is a graphic novel this week. In addition to the story that it tells, it is beautifully illustrated, and she did it herself, so I think you will do it. Even if you're not a fan of graphic novels, you will be amazed at how quickly you become immersed in it, because it tells not only her story, but the history of her travel from her country of Vietnam to us.
Wow, great. Thank you.
Good. Thank you much.
Thank you for coming.
We'll see you again soon.
Soon.
Oh, I'll talk to you soon about all that other stuff. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, Nagin, you want to read this to the record so we can get going? Oh, sorry.
Item number 3, Council Bill 119475, an ordinance relating to the Seattle Department of Parks and Recreation and Seattle Public Utilities, transferring partial jurisdiction of a portion of the West Ewing Mini Park from the Seattle Department of Parks and Recreation to Seattle Public Utilities for installation, maintenance, repair, and operation of a combined sewer underground microtunnel and associated internal underground pipes, ducts, and electrical lines, and finding that transfer of partial jurisdiction meets the requirements of Ordinance 118477, which adopted Initiative 42.
Great. You guys want to do your introductions? I'll say a few words and we can get started.
Sure. Tracy Ratliff, Council Central Staff.
Christopher Williams, Seattle Parks. Lewis Webster, Seattle Parks.
Great, thank you. First of all, thank you for being here. And Lewis, did you do the summary and fiscal note on this?
I beg your pardon?
The summary and fiscal note, did you write this one? I see your name on here.
No, my name is on there, and I think it was really prepared by SPU.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to thank them. I'm looking at Mike Wynn and Stephanie Secord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so that is helpful with the information, so thank you. I'll let you guys go ahead and begin.
Great. So we're here to present another partial transfer of jurisdiction. Whenever we do property transactions, we come here to seek authorization.
This transfer is between Seattle Parks and Seattle Public Utilities, and I want to thank Mami Hara, the director of Seattle Public Utilities, and her staff. As was mentioned earlier, this transfer fits within the provisions of I-42, and we think does not violate public park and recreation use. So with that, I will kick it over to Mr. Webster.
All right, thank you. And am I driving on the laptop here?
Yes, you are. Yes, you're driving on the laptop. Wait, Nagin can come help you.
You can get help here.
Yeah.
Yes, help please, thank you.
Expert help.
You're going to have to go to the library and learn how to use a... You're going to have to go to that class. Oh, boy. I don't think he knows. I know, I have to.
Or I can do that for you.
If it weren't for my children, I wouldn't know what I was doing.
Okay, so here on the screen now shows where the West Ewing Mini Park is, and it on the screen here highlighted in yellow, sort of halfway between Fisherman's Terminal and Gasworks Park is over here.
Is it right at Seattle Pacific University?
Yes, that's correct.
That's where it is. Okay.
It's on the south side of the ship canal, and it's actually made up of 3 parcels that you can see on the slide over here. There's 3rd Avenue West street end, which of course is controlled by SDOT. SPU has this middle parcel here, and the Parks parcel is the triangle off to the east. And really the subject of this transferred jurisdiction is just this use area, hatched area on the right, the lower right of the picture. So SPU is doing their Ship Canal Water Quality Project under the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit and the federal consent decree that you may be familiar with. And part of their plan is to install a micro tunnel under the ship canal to convey wastewater from Fremont and Ballard to the King County sewage treatment system. And there I'm advancing the slide.
So can I ask a quick question? Maybe I'm just a little backwards about where this is going. But with the linear reservoir that's going in on the Ballard side, does this connect to that? Is it? So it's actually coming from the south side, that is the north end of Queen Anne, to that
hook up.
Yes.
But when you're talking about Fremont, how does that work? Because Fremont's on the same side as...
Fremont is on the north side, of course,
Correct.
and we're on the south side.
Correct. And this is going into the, we're calling it a linear reservoir, but that's the SPU major project that's going in. So waste is coming from Fremont into the reservoir and from the north end of Queen Anne underneath the canal to the reservoir.
Correct.
Okay.
So, and that may become clearer with another picture as well. So, due to physical constraints, SPU must bore a microtunnel 35 feet beneath a portion of the SPR parcel, Parks parcel. The utility will not be detectable in the park, but appurtenances exist and will be located in adjacent right-of-way. So there will be things visible on the surface, but technically they're not on park property. It's all beneath this park parcel. And so there are no utility features planned on the surface of the parks parcel. SPU will obtain a revocable use permit for the period of construction, and park property will be restored.
You said it will be, okay.
Tracy, let me ask you a question, or Christopher. I-42 doesn't apply to the, or does it apply to the ground underneath for a microtunnel? It does? How far down? Or
So that's sort of a judgment call.
Oh, okay.
And I think in this case, because of the civic good, this sort of, and because there's no surface impact, we sort of made the decision that this was okay to do.
And at the end of the day, the
Yeah.
park is restored.
Right,
It's not
restored,
taking
and you
park
don't see
property
it.
away from use
Yeah,
either.
not a permanent.
Exactly.
That's right.
Because it's underground.
The two, in terms of I-42, the two uses are not incompatible.
Got it.
That this
Exactly.
is way beneath the surface and will allow the park to function. So this is the next slide that shows, this really shows where the new, this is the new micro tunnel that they will be building. And again, the use area is just in the very corner here where it bores underneath. It will come underneath the park's parcel and then to facility in the street right-of-way there. This is a cross-section showing the ship canal, in fact, and the use area is just this very small area that is beneath the park's parcel on the south side of the ship canal. You may ask why a PTOJ? Well, a PTOJ is a mechanism that we use. It's like an easement. It's a mechanism that assigns long-term property interests to different city departments. It allows SPU to install and maintain its equipment without the need for a separate parks permit. The site will be restored, of course. The existing park, made up of those three parcels I described, is very small. It's just 0.3 acres, but it affords a unique view of the ship canal and the surrounding area.
You know, I would call out for a PTOJ, partial transfer of jurisdiction. We have typically only done this with other city departments, so we wouldn't do this with a private commercial operation.
That's correct.
Right.
Well, you couldn't legally.
Right.
Yeah, it's really the jurisdiction, the city jurisdiction operation. And the last bullet point here is that it is consistent, what's proposed is consistent with Ordinance 118477, which adopted I-42.
Thank you for this. What's the schedule?
I think I'm going to look to SPU for, are you asking construction schedule?
From the time we're going to start digging and that might impact the park to the time that it's restored? Tough question, sorry.
I'm guessing that it's 36 months.
Oh, someone.
A successful contractor will have some flexibility in when they decide to do this work within the larger tunneling work. We expect this will probably happen starting in 2020. Don't recall the duration we expect for the disturbance of this park, but it would be restored right away. So it's probably less than, it's probably on the outside a year of construction and then restoration.
Great. We don't need the exact details, but what I was just looking at was, is it starting in summer of next year, whatever? Christopher, just at some time in the future, just circle back and tell us what the schedule is going to be and what people can expect in that area. Great.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so let's, I'm going to do that now. Thank you, Councilmember Batchel. I move the committee pass Council Bill 119475.
Second.
The motion is moved and seconded. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it. Motion passes. So we'll forward this to full council. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And while you're waiting for the next people to come up, thank you very much for your help. And Councilmember Juarez, I just want you to know, once again, Parks has been so helpful to me. They've put together a project plan we're going to look at for City Hall Park and Yesler Crescent. They're going to brief me on it this week, and then there will be opportunities for plenty of public involvement, engagement. So thank you, and thanks to your staff. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, look forward to
Councilor Bagshaw that is her project. So I'm guessing she has been in contact with you. I support her 100%.
Thank you. I think they might say annoyingly so, but thank you.
Would never say that.
He's not on TV. Not on TV. Why don't you read these two into the record, and then I'll make a few comments, and then we'll move forward.
Item 4, Item 4, Council Bill 119477, an ordinance authorizing the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation to execute and accept from the Washington State Department of Natural Resources on behalf of the City of Seattle a waterway permit for Waterway 1 in Laurelhurst. And item 5, Council Bill 119482, an ordinance authorizing the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation to execute and accept from the Washington State Department of Natural Resources on behalf of the City of Seattle a waterway permit for Waterway 3A in the Washington Park Arboretum.
So my understanding is that we have 2 waterway permits, one at Laurelhurst and one at Washington Park Arboretum. We're going to just execute a waterway permit from DNR, that would be the state, that these are 5-year terms. And there's a little bit more information regarding Laurelhurst and their community club, and a little bit more information regarding Washington Park Arboretum. And I just want to emphasize that these are both obviously public open spaces for public park purposes. So we'll focus on that, and then we'll move to, we'll do one vote for both.
Great.
So I'll let you guys go ahead and talk.
Well, with that,
Oh, you have to do 2? Oh, Tracy said, okay, well, Nagin said I didn't have to, but okay. We'll do them separately then. Okay.
with that great introduction, I'll just kick it over to Chip Nevins, who will provide a lot of detail.
I'm Chip Nevins, Seattle Parks and Recreation. So we have 2 waterway permits. Just a little background. We have over a dozen different agreements with Department of Natural Resources on properties that are adjacent to our shoreline parks. As you all probably know, that DNR controls most of the shoreline, and so that many of our parks utilize DNR land. And there are 3 types of permits, 3 types of agreements. We have waterway permits, which are kind of like platted roads in the water. We've got aquatic easements, which are water outside the shoreline, like in the harbor area, and we have upland easements. And so waterway permits are limited to 5 years, which is why we have to come back so often to renew these. Other agreements last up to 30 years, but state statute allows these only to be every 5 years. So the first one we're talking about, Waterway 1, this is in Laurelhurst. And until 2014, this is a permit that was held by the Laurelhurst Community Council. And in 2014, the state changed their insurance requirements that did not allow the community club to actually hold the permit, and they requested that parks hold it in their behalf. So we worked with the Friends of Waterway 1, have an agreement with them where they maintain it, they mow the lawns, they do all the work on the property, and we hold the permit with DNR. This has been going on, obviously, 5 years now, and it's a well-loved park. We have a neighborhood matching fund. The community got a neighborhood matching fund grant to renew the park about 3 years ago. There's a new basketball court there, new lawn, restored shoreline. And so we would like to renew it for another 5 years.
Okay.
I like that ending.
So what we'll do then is, why don't we, if there's anything else, we'll move forward on this one, then we'll do the Laurelhurst one first, and then we'll do the Washington Park one second. So we already read them both into the record, so let's move with, I'd like to move the committee pass Council Bill 119477.
Second.
Motion is moved and seconded. There's no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. Ayes have it. Motion passes, and we'll forward to the full council. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to the Washington Park Arboretum.
So as you can see, this is a quite different type of waterway. There are dozens of waterways around the city. Some of them are uplands like Waterway 1. Some of them are completely submerged like Waterway 3A. This is just south of Marsh Island. It's all open water, and it looks vegetated, but it's really mostly open water there. And it's a weird shape because it got truncated. It got cut off by 520. And so this, when When 520, we have permits with 520, we had to redo all our easements and waterway permits with DNR to have control over the property. So this one is just up for renewal. It's not, it's for public use, though it's just part of the surrounding. No one actually uses it. You can boat on it, but it's just part of our control.
Right, it's just open water with no
It's open
improvements.
water, correct.
5-year term as well.
Correct.
Okay. Can I just ask a stupid question?
Sure.
If it's open water and no improvements, and there's no, I mean, for public, we're going to use it for public purposes, I don't understand why, if it's open, why we need a permit from DNR.
Yeah, so it is, I'll try to explain it quickly. So there, when we did the 520 agreements, there was a number of properties that were impacted, park properties that were impacted, and they had to be replaced as part of Section 6F, which is a federal rule on transportation projects impacting parks. And we, in order to get that 6F replacement, we had to have control over the entire area that was affected. And so that meant we had to renew all our agreements with DNR so that we legally had control over those properties.
Okay.
And the 6F replacement property, if you remember, is Portage Bay Park over in the U District, and that is what we got for the impact of 520 on this.
Got it.
Is that over by the police station?
Correct, it
And
is.
what's the status of that now?
It's under construction, yes.
Former police station.
Yes, former police station. Yeah, it's under construction right now.
Okay.
Clean up, yeah.
Expected opening more or less?
Oh, I think sometime next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
By spring.
2020?
She won't hold you to
Yeah,
that.
2020.
All right. So with that, any more questions, Councilmember Bagshaw? You good? You sure? Okay, good. Let's move. I move the committee pass Council Bill 119482.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone no? No. Ayes have it. The council bill or ordinance passes, and we'll submit it to full council. Thank you, Chip, as usual.
And thank you, Chip. Good to see you. Thank you for all your hard work. Seriously, I don't see you very often anymore. So anyway, it's
I
great.
always appreciate your writing, by the way.
Yeah, and I appreciate this, the document. I don't know, Lish, if you were part of this too. It was really good stuff.
Lish is big on the next one.
Okay. Soundview Playfield?
Yeah. So we're going to have public comment on that, or, well, first I'll have Nagin read it into the record.
Again, she's doing many things today.
I know. And she's writing me notes at the same time.
Writing you notes. Item 6, Council File 314403, Council Land Use Action to allow installation of 7 athletic field light poles at the Soundview Playfields and 8,000 cubic yards of grading for the removal of existing turf and installation of a new synthetic turf playfield.
So with that, I'll have you do introductions. I have a few comments that I want to make, and then we'll jump right in.
Lish Whitson, Council Central Staff.
Christopher Williams, Seattle Parks.
Hillary, Seattle Department of Construction and Inspections.
And Jay Rude, Seattle Parks.
So my understanding today, because this is and Lish will fill us in more, is it quasi-judicial? Is that what you shared?
It is not
Okay.
quasi-judicial.
It's not, okay. So we'll do the presentation first, and Lish, thank you for the memo dated March 15th, because that explained a lot to us on the Soundview Playfield Improvement Project. And so then we'll be entertaining an amendment to better reflect our actions today in conjunction with SDCI and SDOT, and then move forward on whether or not to grant the clerk file as conditioned. So with that, Nikki, has anyone signed up for public comment? Oh, we had one person, they left? Okay, so apparently,
We just open it and close it,
we
right?
yes, thank you. Oh, I do? Okay, we will now open public hearing on clerk file 314403.
We have one person signed up, Alex Zimmerman, who is not present.
Okay, so Mr. Zimmerman is not here, so we will close public comment. So let's go to your presentation.
All right, so just very briefly, this is a land use approval for that would allow the Parks Department to install 7 field lights that are above the height limit for the zoning that Soundview Playfield is located in. Carly's going to have a presentation on the proposal, and then when she's done, I have a simple amendment to change the title to better reflect what you're actually acting on.
Okay.
Great, thank you. All right, so let's start with location. Soundview Playfield is an existing city facility. It's located in the northwest portion of the city at the corner of Northwest 90th Street and 15th Avenue Northwest. The entire park's about 10 acres in size, and it's located in a single-family zone. So Seattle Parks proposes 7 new field light poles and fixtures, and they range in height of between 70 and 90 feet.
Yeah, 70, 80, and 90.
Yes.
3 at 70, 3 at 80, and 1 at 90.
At 90. It's a little bit difficult to see in this site plan, but, and I don't have a laser pointer, I apologize, but.
Well, we got hard copies in front of us, too.
Okay, so the small yellow boxes, those are the location of the 7 light poles, and they're located around the playfield, the existing playfield. SDCI, we issued public notice, and we received a handful of comments. We did receive support, words of support for the light field, or for the field lights themselves, as well as some concerns about impacts to traffic, parking, and then the turf, the turf itself, the artificial turf.
My understanding is that there were no measurable impacts to the surrounding property.
Correct. So Seattle Parks issued their determination of non-significance under the State Environmental Policy Act.
Okay.
They issued that decision in July.
Great.
And I'm sure you'll probably get into this, but talk to me a little bit about public involvement. Did they have opportunities to come in and express their worries about light in the residential areas, and then what you did to address that?
Yes. So SDCI had our public comment period, a 2-week comment period in which we received the written letters. Nobody came into my office, but I believe Parks did some.
As we do, we had 3 public meetings, workshops earlier, started maybe 2.5 years ago now, looking at the improvements planned and went through them. And we even had applause, which we never get.
Well done.
About, it was having to do with the lights, too, actually. It was really good.
Hopefully you have that on video.
I wanted to. I should have.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Great. So here's just a cross-section of the park itself, or the playfield itself, rather, just giving an indication of those light poles relative, or in context.
My understanding, too, is that that is in, not in violation of single-family zoning, that's...
So the maximum height for the zone is 30 feet.
Right, so you're compliant with that?
No. What you're acting on today is approval for the height above the single-family height limit.
Okay, I read that wrong then, I apologize.
Sorry.
My mistake.
The light poles ranged, so 70 to 90 feet in height.
Right.
Right.
And that's zoned for 30?
Right.
Single-family zoning, okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's see. So based on the development standards and the criteria, the approval criteria, all the applicable policies, SDCI finds that the proposal does meet all of the code requirements except for height, of course, which is the subject of this land use approval, and that Seattle Parks has demonstrated through the light and glare analyses that they submitted to us that the height as well as the shielding of the fixtures themselves are sufficient to appropriately reduce light spillage and glare, and that SDCI does recommend approval with one condition. We recommend that Seattle Parks obtain a construction management plan prior to construction.
With SDOT?
With SDOT, yes, that permit through SDOT, the approval through SDOT, and that plan will include items like construction worker parking plans and a haul route plan as well.
So my understanding is that this goes beyond just the 7 light poles and the replacing of the turf. Lish, correct me if I'm wrong from reading your memo. There are a bunch of other upgrades that are going to happen at this park. I think I counted like 10 and then this is coming from, just for the viewing public, this is going to cost around $6.3 million.
$3 million.
And this will come out of the REIT funds.
Yeah, so about $5.5 million will come from the Park District, and about $742,000 will come from REIT.
Okay.
So it includes elements like the synthetic turf fill replacement, lighting, ADA, seating, and other site improvements.
Yeah, it looks great that you're doing a lot of great stuff. And so this is just, it's a real playfield improvement program, which Parks does. And so good job.
That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Councilor Bagshaw.
Thank you. Soccer field?
Yes.
Baseball diamond and field?
Can be lined for baseball, you bet.
Okay.
ADA access?
ADA access.
Which is great.
Have the construction schedule on this. This will go out to bid in April of 2019, and we expect construction to begin from early summer through December 2019.
So you're going to have the besides the bleacher seating, a batting cage, seawalls, all kinds of good stuff. Site improvements, enhanced landscaping, improved playfield will accommodate baseball, t-ball, softball, soccer, and football.
Yes.
So, good job. Is there anything else from you, Councilmember Bagshaw?
Just,
I got all this from Lish, by the way.
no, it's great. Lish, thank you. I appreciate
usual.
that. Findings and conclusions, just going back to, I'm trying to respond to neighborhoods, and I'm sure that we will be hearing something more when somebody says, oh, it was 2.5 years ago since we had our last public hearing. Things have been just moving along sequentially. Is there anything you want to tell us, anything we should know about this before we vote?
Just that the aspect of the project that you're acting on is the height of the light poles. And the light study seems to indicate that there won't be effects on surrounding properties, and so.
Everything else is approved, and we're just doing light poles and.
Yep. So I think to get back to your question, so the lights would typically stay on until 11 p.m. We would guard against lights being on when there's no activity on the field, which really can irritate neighbors.
Right.
But we want to work with the community to make sure that we have the best sort of implementation of this new athletic field.
Nice. And I know that over the years that people have just cried for more space and cried for lighted space.
That's right.
So thank you for doing that and just being sensitive to the neighbors about the lights and the times they're on and off. But I know you always are. So thanks.
Sure.
Thank you very much. This is great.
So we have like 3 procedural matters that I need to walk through. So Lish, do you want me to start now with the very first one on making a final committee recommendation, and then when you want to, if there's more you want to add?
Yes.
So how do you want to do that?
The first one is probably to amend the title of the clerk file.
Well, no, I got to suspend the rules first.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So I go first, Lish. Okay.
All right.
If there's no objection, the council rule will be suspended to allow the committee to make a final committee recommendation to the city council on the same day a public hearing was held on this item.
But no objection.
Hearing no objections, council rule is suspended. We will now proceed to committee recommendation. So I'm going to let you speak and then I'll amend.
Sure.
Correct? Okay.
So the way these actions are set up, a clerk file is created very early in the process, and often the title doesn't reflect the final council action that's needed. So in order to make it clear that the council's approval is just about the light poles, I recommend changing the title to reflect that. And the language that our law department recommended was council land use action to modify development standards for a city facility to allow the installation of 7 athletic light poles at the Soundview Playfield.
Okay. So I can do 2 things. Well, I'll just move to amend, and then I won't, unless you want me to read into the record, but I think you just did what the change would be. So I'm just going to do that. I move to amend, clerk file 314403 to update the title of the clerk file.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, no. Ayes have it. Motion passes, and let's move to, well, I'm supposed to say the updated title better captures the scope of council's action. Okay, so with that, is there any more discussion? Now we can move to the final vote of the amended ordinance. Okay. So the motion, let me make the motion. So what is the motion I make? Oh, it's on 13. Okay, great. Move over. Thank you. I move to grant as a condition clerk file 314403.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. And we will recommend the full council grant as a condition clerk file. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for your work on that. Thanks to the law department for helping us through.
As usual.
Good.
All right, and so just, if you want to hold on just a second, before I move to adjourn, the next meeting of the Civic Development, Public Assets, and Native Communities will be Wednesday, April 3rd. And with that, we stand adjourned.
Great.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Thank you very much. And again, let your staff know how grateful I am. It was a great